Yo, what's good guys? Do you want your edits to go viral? Do you want to know what effects popular editors use to make their edits go viral? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down everything in my edit that went viral on TikTok and got over 1 million views within a week. I will be showing you how I made my effects, text, and much more. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click on the bell to turn on notifications. Now, let's get into breaking down the edit. Alright guys, first things first, let's talk about the audio in my edit. An audio that was popular on TikTok, so that would make sure to go viral. So try to make all your edits be like a trending audio. Then for my intro, I went to the audio and I added an effect called bass and treble. And I put the bass as 100 and the treble as -100. What this basically does is it gives like a muffled effect. And I turned down the audio by 15 so you can hear what the clips are saying, like what the people are saying in the clips. Then when the beat drops, I didn't put anything and I increased the volume back to 0. So it gives like a more of an impact in the audio. And then at the end right here, I did the same thing as the last one. I put the bass and treble effect and I put it down to -15. And then at the end, I added keyframes and put it as low as possible to have like a fade out kind of transition in the audio. So it's smoother that way. Then after I did the audio, what I did is I grabbed an intro, what I think like the key points of what I want to show in my edits. So this can be from any show, but try to put key points and try to show the viewer what you want them to see. Like for this one, I wanted them to see what was gonna happen after this dialogue. So I put the clips of them talking. And then after you put the clips, what you guys want to do is right here, you want to scale it and you want to position the clips, because usually if you reset the clips, they're not as aligned. So you're gonna have to like position them. Let's say right here, I wanted it to put them both in the middle. So I would put them both in the middle, because sometimes the clips will be like this and you won't be able to see anyone. So make sure you align it correctly. And then you want to do that for every single clip. So every single clip, what I would do is every time a scene cuts, you would cut the clip in half and align it. See how many clips I have cut, because they're all different parts. And you also want to do this for the zoom in and zoom out too. As you can see right here, I've done it for all of the zoom ins and zoom outs. Like I've put it in the middle and I've put like the main part of the clip in the middle, so the viewer can see. Then after you do all of those should take a little bit of time. Then what you guys want to do is you want to pre-compose all of your clips that are like after the intro, and you want to put the Twixtor effect that I've showed to you guys in my last video and the zoom out effect. For this edit, I've also added a zoom in effect, but it's the same steps. The only difference is that instead of putting 150 in the beginning, you put 100, and then at the end you put 150. But that's the only difference. The graphs and everything are the same. And you want to do this for every single clip, all the Twixtor and the zoom in effects. And those zoom in and zoom out effects are all in my channel. All right, this is the part that takes a little while. The text. So for the text, you don't want your text to be really simple with like no effects and just the text. All right, you want to make sure it stands out. So for example, right here where it says Mark, right here, what I did is I made it like kind of come from the right and come in to the left. As you can see, had like a movement. And what I also did is I added like a fade in, and I added a fade out, but with the letters. And what this fade in is called, fade up words, and the fade out is called fade out slow. And you guys just want to, after you add it to your text, you want to tweak it a little bit to make it sound like when they're saying it, like it pops up. So I'll show you guys how it looks in the thing. Let me turn off the song because of copyright issues, but this is how it sounds.
Mark.
You guys see how when he says Mark, it appears? That's what you guys want to do for all of the clips. And then after you do that for the clips, as you can see, I pre-composed it and I added Deep Glow, which is a very good plugin, and I added Drop Shadow to make it stand out. And what I also did is I added, if you go right here right click and then you go to layer styles and bevel and emboss. It will give like this kind of sort of 3D effect, and it makes like more the text more depth. So like Mark is his name, so I wanted to emphasize it that he's talking to him, so I added that effect. Then for this right here, as you can see, I added a glitch effect to emphasize the we when he says we, and I also put italic the need. For the glitch effect, I'll make a video about it, but it's from a plugin called Universal, and I just searched up the glitch, and yeah, and then well, that's for another video for a tutorial, but I'm just showing you guys what plugin I used. And so basically these two, I just emphasized it what they needed to talk, so then the viewer will know, oh, they're gonna talk. All of editing is all about emphasizing and telling the viewer what you want them to see and what the main ideas of your videos are. For the next one, I put, when he says this is insane, I put this blood-ish effect, and this is another tutorial, but it's very simple to do. And I put this to emphasize it that what he does, if you watch the show, what he does is like insane, and I wanted to emphasize it by putting blood and how it's not good what he does. So just like I said, it's all about emphasizing and putting the main ideas. Then I put like this transitions effect, like see how it moves to the middle. I also did it for the this is insane part. It's really easy. What you guys want to do is you want to put the position and the scale from one side to another, and then just graph it the way you want to. It's really simple. And then this right here is just a simple text because there wasn't really much to emphasize it, so I just put him talking. And right here, this is very important too. Right here it says for a bunch of aliens I've never met, and I didn't want to put the question mark at the end because that's too basic, so I put 2 question marks right here scaling out, and then I put a different font for aliens, and I added green because everyone knows that aliens are like kind of greenish. Like when you think of aliens, you think of the color green. So then after I did that, I put when he says this is my life, I put sort of this like shaking effect to emphasize that his life is like kind of shaking and it's just going crazy right now. And right here for the next part, when he says these are my people, I put the italic for my to emphasize that he wants to protect them, and I put red to really emphasize it so the viewer really sees. Then when he says responsibility, when you think of responsibility, you think of something like really important, and a color that signifies and symbolizes important is yellow. So I put sort of this like glowish effect. And right here, where it says Viltrum, let me put the quality max. When he says Viltrum, I took the font from the actual show to the text to show that Viltrum is part of the series, and to make people realize that. And just to emphasize it again, I also put the same font right here in Mark, because yeah, in the series, like this font is kind of like a lot of people know it and it's very important. Then right here when he says I don't give a S about what it says, I just put a different font. I put italic on it, and I just put a different color. I don't overuse too many colors, all right? You guys want to keep it impactful, but you don't want to keep using the same thing because that bores the viewer. So for this one, I just put like the color of his suit to like symbolize that he's saying it. Then right here, he says I don't care if he lives a flipping million years. So I just put a different, like I put a Vogue, the font, and I just put the same color as his suit again. Then this right here, they're both talking, one on the left, one on the right. So what I did is, since he's talking first, I'm gonna put him first, and then once he's done talking, I'm gonna put a position and switching it and showing him and what he's saying. And then right here, since you guys, like I just said, and I keep saying it again, don't make your text too basic. So if I just put the text right here in the middle, it would be too basic. So instead, I put it right here on the left and like sort of like tilted to just give it a contrast. And as you can see right here, I stretched it out. And to do that is really simple. What you guys want to do is, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, wait, It's right here. Like you see this, the red thing, you can stretch it out. And that's what I did. And then I also did it for the eye. As you can see in the beginning, it looks like it's not moving, right? But then it stretches out because it says, and I won't. And this is sort of to like keep it as a rectangle, because if the eye was just right here, it would look like something was missing. So it's all about filling in and, you know, just making it nice and neat. And for the my and won't, I just added an inverted filter, and I put the saturation all the way down. Like I said it, and I'm gonna say it again, is to emphasize it. It's my home. He says it's mine, so it's his. So I want to emphasize it. And I won't. He says he doesn't want to, so I'm gonna emphasize that he won't let him destroy it. And then right here he says you don't know what you're saying, so I'm gonna emphasize don't know, so the viewer knows that he doesn't really know what's supposed to happen. And then right here is the important part. I added CC jaws, which basically means you see this black line. I added this to emphasize what he says is really important. And I also added a blur so it would be smoother. And I added a 3D effect too for the text, but that's for another video. I'm not gonna teach you guys how to do this, but I'll show you in another video. And what I also did is I added this sort of like low quality glitch effect right here, and it's called Signal. It's like a plugin. Then after he does this, right, I added right here, I can't let you interfere. And for this interfere, just like the last text, I added the emboss effect, and it makes him like 3D but not really 3D, you know. And then right here he says he knows exactly what he's saying, and if he knows what he's saying, it's like correct, like he's correct. And when you think of something that's correct, you think of green. So I just added a green glow effect, and I put green for the text. And then right here is where he starts getting mad and crazy. And so he's like, so since he's mad and crazy, I added a red with like glow and some arrows, and right in the middle of the screen, so the viewer says, oh, the beat's about to drop and this is gonna go crazy. So I added this effect right here, and I added like the fade in effect. Now it's not really a fade in, it's a pop effect, and this is what it sounds like.
So be it.
Yeah, so see how it like really emphasizes it. And to show you guys the effects that I use for this line, it took me a long time to find this, but it's called scan lines. And then you guys just want to tweak the effect how you like it. If you guys want, I'll make another video teaching how to do all of my text effects, but right now this is just a brief overview on what I use. And I also use drop shadow. And for the text, I used fill to make it red, deep glow to make it glow, warp to do like this like warp kind of thing, and then edge blur to make the text like more kind of blurry and the letters smooth. And yeah, this is the effects. It sounds pretty easy, but to perfect it takes some time. And so as you guys can see, after I did all my zoom ins, if I go to the effects, another effect that I did is I added shake as a panning. As you can see right here, you see how the text moves a little bit, not the text, sorry, the clip moves a little bit. If I turn this off, look, see how it goes back to being static. This makes your edit not smooth. So using S shake, what you guys want to do, see, I'll go to the right here. For the S shake, just put it low amplitude and a low frequency. This will give like a smooth kind of, so it's not just static, you know. And then I also added a twitch effect for like a shake, so at the end, just to give like a good transition. But I'll teach you guys in another video how to do a shake effect. But just to show you guys, this is how it looks like. So yeah, and then I added the S shake for all of my clips. And I added the twitch for only like the main parts. And the parts that are like, the clip is the longest. So right here, this clip is the longest. So I added, this clip is the longest. So I added, let me see. Right here, I also added because it's long. Let's see. And right here, I added because this is the outro. And yeah. And then I also added the text at the end. And then now to talk about my logo. I'm just gonna briefly go over it because I'm going to save this for another tutorial. But my logo, basically, it's a 3D effect called element. And what I do is I just do like, I start the text rotated, and then at the end I bring it in, and with the opacity, and I add deep glow and shine. The shine effect is from a plugin called Trapcode, and I put the colors as red because, as you can see right here, it has kind of a lot of blood and everything, and this guy's suit is red, you know. And right, like most of my clips, everything, there's a lot of red, so I wanted to emphasize that. And this fire thing, I got this overlay. If you guys want, I'll give you this overlay. I will create a video with all of my overlays, but I use this overlay a lot because it's just like kind of sort of my trademark. Now, like we're basically at the end. It doesn't sound like it's much, but it really takes a while, because if you want your edits to go viral, you need to be patient and always try to learn. I wasn't good in the beginning when I started, but this is 4 years of editing, and you guys need to know that editing is about patience and wanting to learn. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is this right here, this motion blur. This motion blur, it basically makes your clips more smoother, and it's just better than the After Effects version. It's called RSMB. RSMB stands for Real Smooth Motion Blur. And basically, here, I'll go to my effects, and this is the blur amounts, and this is how much, like if the clip moves, how much does the clip need to move to like sort of turn it on, basically. So the clip needs to move pretty much a lot to turn it on, and the blur amount isn't that much. If you put too much blur amount, it doesn't look good, so don't put way too much. And to make this work, you gotta pre-compose all your clips. It's kind of weird, but you have to pre-compose all your clips and put it on an adjustment layer. But that's how you make the Real Smooth Motion Blur. If I were you guys though, I would put the Real Smooth Motion Blur only like after the intro, when the beat drops, because if you put it on static clips, it will do like a weird glitch. So just do it like this. And lastly, this just one cool little thing what I like to do is, if you guys see right here on the bottom, I sort of put this copyright. It's not really copyright because I don't own the clips of the series, but what I'm trying to say is like the copyright of my edit, and this is just so nobody steals my edit, and you know. And for this, I just added a drop shadow, and if you right click, go to blending mode and click overlay, it will sort of give like this overlay thing, like it will still show like the things and everything, but it's just a cool way to put a watermark. And yeah, this is basically how my edit is. This, everything that I use for my edits is just this. It's just an easy breakdown for everything. And yeah, oh yeah, also right here I added an effect called wipe dots, just to look smooth, like cooler, I guess. I don't know. Like as you can see, it makes like sort of a cartoony comic book effect, and it's more like this is an animated series, so I feel like it would match, you know. And then I just turn down the opacity at the end, so it's not for every clip. And so you guys can see this is what the final result looks like.
Mark, we need to talk.
Insane! What do you think is gonna happen? And I'm gonna go enslave my friends for a bunch of aliens I've never met? This is my life! They're my people!
We have a responsibility to Viltrum.
I don't give a shit about Viltrum. I don't care if I live a fucking million years. This is my home, and I won't let you destroy it!
You don't know what you're saying, and I can't let you interfere.
I know exactly what I'm saying.
So be it.
Yeah, so and then the zoom outs and everything, but that's how it looks like. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notifications. It will help me a ton. But this is how you guys make my viral edit, and this was just a brief breakdown of all of the effects. But in later videos, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make all of these effects to use for your edits and make them smooth and viral and everything. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.